Chapter 2, Overheat. Shortly after Malkov first visited the imprisoned Carter and Monica, he went to the base of Hope's hangar to check on Colossus. Malkov approaches the men working on its repairs using welding equipment. 10 or more men work tirelessly as Colossus is suspended upright. Progress report, men. How long until we can get him in the field again? Malkov asks. Realistically, even with us working nonstop as we are, it will take a week or more. The comets caused significant damage. You are lucky to even be alive. I do not believe in luck. My will to live kept me alive, and my will to see these rats drown. Rats, sir? The aliens. Once when I was young, I was tasked by my mother to find a rat who kept getting into our cupboards. They would come every night and shred through every piece of food in our small home. So what were these rats to us, comrade? Not sure what you mean, sir, one grunt says. They were a threat. So one night I stayed up all night long and waited for hours, it seemed, until the little bastard ran into the light, peeking through the window. I pounced on it and grabbed it. How easy would it have been to choke the life out of the little shit? But I thought to myself, where there is one, there is hundreds. They will return if something isn't done. So what did you do, sir? I sliced off its head and ran a spike through it. I placed it in the hole I suspected the vermin would come through to warn and protect our home. It didn't work, though. The rats ate it and continued coming in, so I had to kill one every other day or so. But the point of this story is that we need to show these aliens who is in charge and not let up even for a second. I understand, sir. No, unless you want to be like the rats in my childhood story. I want Colossus done by tonight. Sir, that couldn't be done. Not say can't. Get more men if you must. I will be back tonight, and I will be doing a field test in case we get any more visitors. Do you understand? I won't be a rat that lets himself get killed. Get to work. The grunt nods in fear and begins to rapidly weld away on Colossus while another calls for more assistance to assist. Malkov walks away coldly towards the lab. Malkov enters the lab where Scoffin is assessing the crown of the young boy who was killed by his crown for betraying Zizor. Have you discovered anything, Scoffin, about these things? Indeed. Look, sir, through the microscope. Malkov begins to adjust his eyes to see, looking through the small holes of the microscope. That crown destroyed itself to stop that boy from betraying Carter's commands. So most of the interior was charred, but I was able to get a tiny blob of dried fluid. Malkov sees small green bacteria that floats aimlessly. After adjusting his eyes further, he is able to make out faces on the small specimen. They are small? Yes, it seems that the human host is but an amplifier to the beings. I am to imagine they are all like this, even our dear Carter. However, it seems that he must have some form of superior DNA that allows his ability to rain comets. It's very interesting indeed. Gross. But that is what you're here for. Whatever they might be, I will crush them before we have any more casualties. I have much to learn. Carter's dissection will be of utmost importance to my studies. Seeing the DNA alive and how the crown operates will not only satisfy my lust for knowledge, but it will give you the tactical advantage to facilitate their destruction. Leave me for now. I need to clean this up before we go retrieve Carter. Understood. Good work, Scoffin. Malkov leaves the lab and heads to his home on foot. He goes inside and shuffles in his desk until he finds a large cigar. He cuts it with a cigar cutter and ignites it. Damn them. There is no escape from the fear I have for my nation. This is worse than any world war that could have happened. I wonder how the other countries are taking all of this. Smoke fills the quaint room. Hours pass and the moon raises into the sky. Piercing moonlight fills the room. I must have dozed off. I suspect Colossus must be close to completion by now. I hope so anyway, for their sake. Malkov walks out of his house and heads for the hangar. The men continue welding away in the brightly lit room. Some men lay on the ground due to exhaustion from the 16-hour repair. Malkov claps as he nears Colossus. Progress has been made. I will slip on my flame suit and we will do a couple of combat exercises, Malkov says as he begins to put on his suit. Go ahead and open up the entry hatch. Sergeant Malkov, I know what you said about finishing early, but we have not completed safety measure protocol yet. Colossus took significant damage, and hastily getting in can be catastrophic. At the pace you're going after we spoke, how long until you think it is ready? I would still predict 5 days at the minimum. Malkov grabs the grunt and throws him to the ground. If Colossus is not combat ready, and Carter attacks, we will all be killed off like the vermin in my story. I barely managed to take him down. And if that last comet he sent down would have struck, we would all be dead now. We must take that experience and learn from it. Colossus must be prepared. Suit me up immediately, or I will kill you all as you stand. The startled grunt nods and stands up quickly and opens the hatch of the mech. Malkov climbs inside and the grunts begin the boot-up phase. Colossus glows bright. Running update 16.9. Testing rocket thrusters. Testing fuel meters. Testing heat vents. Testing rapid exhaust systems. Testing ammo loaders. Testing missile system. Before the grunt could finish, Colossus's right arm explodes. A damaged missile was violently jolted, which caused it to explode, with the other rockets in standby. 6 grunts were instantly killed, and Malkov desperately escapes. He rolls around vigorously, but the flames eat away at his skin. The remaining grunts charge with flame extinguishers and begin to douse Malkov. You fools! Save Colossus before me. Without it, humanity will be crushed. But Malkov, you will. Do it now! He yells. The grunts meticulously put out Colossus's flames and engage the flame vents manually to help with the rest. Then they put out Malkov, who has stopped moving at this point. Get him to the nurse's office. He needs attention now. He has sustained too many injuries. Someone grab him and don't jostle him around too much. The grunts all rush him to the infirmary. Nurse Betty begins to wrap him after applying several rounds of burn ointment, but Malkov shows no signs of waking up. Scoffin shows up after hearing about the incident and talks with Betty. Sad, you will miss my experiments in this state. I would offer to hold off for you, but our time is running near. Scoffin stares at the sleeping Malkov and turns to leave when Malkov grabs his arm. Make sure those idiots finish Colossus's repairs. Just in case, he says as his hand turns limp and he falls back asleep. The resolve in that man, Scoffin thinks to himself. As you wish. I will pay them a visit and make sure they do not rest. You are the only one trained to use it, and in your condition it is unlikely you will be able to man it for some time. Rest now. When we speak again, I will have discovered the alien's secrets. Scoffin leaves the room towards the hangar. Betty tends to Malkov for a few hours, and Scoffin makes his final descent to the cell where Carter and Monica were. Suddenly the air grows hot, and the massive comet Zizor calls down strikes the city, flattening all but the nurse's building and a few sturdier buildings nearby. Betty does her best to shield Malkov, and as the fires die down, she looks around for the backup generator in the basement. Monica coughs up blood violently as she grips her body. With Malkov's combat training, he managed to strike Monica with all 7 bullets. One to the left shoulder, one to the right breast, one to the crown's mesh, which severely bruised Monica's forehead, one to the right calf, and one to the stomach, missing the womb. one to the crown's keypad, and one final blew off Monica's left index finger. Alarms go off in Zizor's crown as he begins the repairs to the crown, first to better facilitate Monica's healing processes, using all the fluid to begin rapid repairs again. Whatever assisted them earlier was no longer helping, so it was up to Zizor to overcome this while Monica slowly bleeds to death. He will be back, Malkov thinks, as he wobbles to the hangar. The hangar was mostly on fire, but Colossus's vents automatically came on when it sensed the heat of the comet, so it stands proudly in the center of a fiery vortex. It takes more than a couple of measly comets to bring you down, you big-ass brute, Malkov says to the mech. Malkov steps over the flames and burnt bodies to slowly reach his suit. Let's see what these morons manage to do. Malkov pulls himself into the suit and assesses the main module. 93% repaired. System check running. Suit integrity, 96%. Areas of weakened integrity. Missile systems functional, but are at 80% integrity. All other systems in above average range of functionality. Checking. Heat exhaust vent needs a filter change. Oxygen balancer needs to be tightened or replaced. That won't matter. This will be my final bout, whether I win or die. I barely survived that blast. I will use all my remaining strength to kill that alien. Those shots will buy me some time to finish up here. I need to at least get the missile systems in better working order, and maybe change that vent, or at least clear the soot out. Malkov climbs out and pries the large toolbox from the dead grunt's hands and begins to work on repairs. I am sure Monica survived those shots, but the repairs should be long enough for me to get Colossus back to 95% integrity or better. Time to get to work. As the harsh rain smacks against the tin roof of the hangar, Malkov uses all his remaining strength to power up his prized weapon. 2 hours pass as the two continue their efforts. Monica's gunshot wounds are healed, but Zizor is unable to regrow her lost finger. Monica awakes shortly after with a gasp.
Betty?
She screams. Malkov. That bastard Malkov killed her.
Why? She was no threat to him.
Likely because she helped us without hesitation.
All she wanted was peace, to have a garden, only to be betrayed by that sick idiot like Malkov.
It was quite a waste. I still yet to understand humans, but it is quite misfortunate I could not repay her kindness.
All the more reason Malkov must die. He's waiting for us to come outside to face him. Let's go now. I'm pissed off.
Soon. I used all of my fluid to heal our wounds. I was unable to restore your finger, and my keypad will need to be repaired. But as for now, we'll be ready to fight in maybe an hour. We cannot lose this time. The same tricks won't work, either. He will expect a distraction. If you underestimate him, or that suit again, we will die, and the Miatz mission will fail.
So the fate of the future depends on this battle.
Yes. We should be thankful Malkov is consumed in pride. A smart leader would summon help to ensure a win.
Why don't we, summon help?
Because I am just as prideful. I won't lose again, or I deserve death. Besides, I have 2 new reasons to survive. Monica smiles.
Hey, while we wait, do you think we could do something about Betty? I hate to think she died so coldly. It looks like there is a small flower garden in front. Could we bury her in a shallow grave?
I won't stop you, but I cannot lend you any more strength other than keeping your neck strong enough to support the crown. We need to conserve our strength.
That's fine. I will manage.
Monica grabs hold of Betty's body, who bleeds all over her outfit. Monica lets out a few quiet cries, and she looks for something she can dig with. She grabs a tool in the fireplace used to move logs and walks outside with Betty, and the tool and begins to dig. 30 minutes pass and the body now rests in the wet soil as rain continues to pour. She must have planted these flowers, if she ever got some spare time to herself. What a simple yet complex woman she was. Monica plucks one of the blue flowers and places it on the freshly dug soil.
Wherever death may take you, Betty, I wish you peace and offer you thanks for everything you did.
Monica, my fluid has returned ahead of schedule. Since Malkov isn't out here, we should find him and maybe get the jump on him.
No, we go after him, but no surprises. I want him to see my face as I rip his heart out. Betty aside, he shot my damn stomach, and I can't let that slide. He may think that this is an even battle, but this time it's 2-on-1 and Carter isn't here to hold us back.
Yes, we will prevail if we keep this resolve.
I hear noises in that hangar over there.
Monica says as she points. Quickly, let us go. Monica and Zizor run to the hangar, ready for action. As they walk into the hangar, they see a slumbering colossus, who menacingly stands. Malkov is still welding a piece of the arm that wields the rockets. Explain to me why I shouldn't kill you before you get into that annoying toy of yours, Zizor asks as he walks towards Malkov. Without turning to look, Malkov continues his welding. Your race is a lot of things. I would not assume cowardly, but you're welcome to prove me wrong. Snide bastard. You took over Monica's body. I guess that means Carter is...
dead.
Monica interrupts. Cold as ever, Monica. Well, I imagine it is about the time I killed you both and die as a martyr for this country. Martyr. Fat chance. You will die a gutless rat who is too weak to take me down. Just sweet, innocent ladies. Did you call me a rat? Malkov asks. As he presses a button on Colossus's arm, a missile is deployed and it strikes Monica head on. Monica is shot out of the hangar and begins trying to put the fire out on her chest with the help of the rain. Meanwhile, Malkov enters Colossus and begins to boot up. Rotten sneak, Zizor says. Let that be the only shot that connects. That burned bastard will wish his suit killed him. Monica, let me take over, but be ready to act in case I use too much fluid.
Got it. Kill that scum.
Monica says, with pleasure. Zizor disperses his fluid into Monica's body, turning her skin blue with reptilian scales and claws with glowing yellow eyes. The energy radiating from her body causes the earth around her to crack. The mighty Colossus enters the runway after kicking the 1,000-pound hangar door off its hinges. It ends tonight, alien bastard, Malkov says as the heat vents all flare up on the suit. Indeed, Zizor says. Zizor runs at Malkov with almost godlike speed, seeming to almost warp, and he closes in using a zigzag pattern. Colossus immediately begins to unload machine gun rounds trying to strike. Zizor leaps while blimping his right fist and winds back. Not this time. Malkov screams as a pulse of air ejects from the suit, pushing Zizor and Colossus backwards. It won't matter, Zizor screams. 3 pea-sized comets strike Colossus, making the suit wobble. Colossus then slouches forward. Zizor runs at him to use this opening to strike, but the mech suddenly springs up and uppercuts Zizor, sending him flying. What? Zizor thinks. Your comets missed. My vents inhaled the flames, and it only looked like you struck me because I deployed a flare. Crafty human. Now, Malkov says as he fires 2 rockets at Zizor. The missiles scream as they near him. Too fast. If it were 1, I could easily dodge it. But with 2, if I dodge the one on the right, the left will strike my abdomen, so... Zizor dodges the missile on the left and dips his head down to make the right missile connect with the ground. Zizor shakes it off and looks up to face Malkov, who is now running at him. Malkov snatches Zizor and begins to squeeze. This is familiar, no? If I recall, this is how I smited you last time. A mighty toss to the ground. You know, I killed a rat like this once. I am no rat, Zizor interrupts. A beach ball-sized comet strikes Colossus in the head, and the vents begin to rapidly inhale the flames. The blast and the smoke cover allows Zizor to wriggle free of the hands and leap onto Colossus. Let's see how you fare without this, Zizor screams. Zizor begins to punch the smoke exhaust rapidly, causing it to crack more with each punch. No! Without the exhaust, there will not be adequate airflow for the inhalation system. The suit will combust with me inside. Malkov screams as he initiates flight. The sudden shift causes Zizor to slip, but he manages to grab onto the suit's arm. They shoot past the clouds violently as they continue their ascent. Malkov spins around violently and hopes to knock down Zizor, but he just keeps adjusting his grip and shows no sign of release. Taking us to space, you big oaf, Zizor screams. Malkov angrily ignores as he continues a vertical rise at 300 miles per hour. I gotta shake him off. The suit's oxygen reserves will be used up if I go past the atmosphere. Suddenly, Zizor releases his grip and begins to rapidly fall. Surprised Malkov doesn't have time to react because a softball-sized comet collides with Colossus. The opposite velocities cause a massive explosion and causes the rocket boosters to short out, sending the massive mech plummeting to the earth. Zizor spreads his arms out to add some wind resistance to the fall as he plummets to the earth. The tumbling Colossus falls about 300 feet above Zizor. I can't let up, Zizor thinks. Zizor punches at the air below him. The pressure knocks him back towards the sky slowly until he is level with Colossus. He grabs on tightly until he can right them both using all his strength. Zizor manages to get Colossus' belly up as they continue to fall. The suit seems unresponsive, but suddenly the air burst shoots Zizor off the suit. Thanks, actually, Zizor screams. The lift sends Zizor into the air above Colossus, allowing him to catch the fallen comet he summoned. His eyes glow a bright yellow as he catches the comet and sends it into Colossus' stomach. The blast sends Colossus into the ground at 600 miles per hour, and Zizor begins doing backflips until he lands harshly in front of the mechanical beast. Sparks, fluid, and fire begin to come out of Colossus. Zizor approaches slowly. 8 of the vents remain in operation and begin to inhale the flames. Through the smoke, Zizor couldn't see that Malkov had his machine gun pointed at him. Heavy rounds begin to pummel Zizor. The majority of the rounds just violently push him back, causing no damage to the body, but the few that hit the ground cause him to lose balance and get sent flying. Zizor falls as Colossus remains on the ground. That suit is stronger than I imagined, and somehow that exhaust survived the fall. Suddenly, Zizor realizes that the exhaust must be in the crater his first mini comets hit, so rather than landing flat against the hard ground, the exhaust had a perfect cubby to land into. He is going through desperate measures to keep that exhaust intact, which confirms my suspicions. Disabling that will likely cause his annoying heat vents to stop functioning. Zizor shakes off the rubble and stands, as does Colossus. Violent rain pelts them as they stare each other down. This rain is also annoying. It means small comets like before will be pretty much ineffective. 64% of my fluid remains. Now I need to play the defensive until I can guarantee an opening. Malkov aims the machine gun arm and rocket launcher arm at Zizor and without hesitation begins to unload. Zizor uses Monica's nimble body combined with his DNA to accurately cartwheel out of the line of fire. During one of the flips, he manages to kick the side of an incoming missile, sending it off course. As the gunfire stops, Zizor slides and flies at Malkov. "Didn't you learn?" Malkov yells. Malkov presses the command to release air to blast Zizor away, but nothing happens. "Air release system in critical condition," the suit speaks. "Shit," Malkov thinks. Zizor drop kicks Colossus in the chest, sending him flying backward and flipping twice. "Air release system in critical condition." "Oh, shut up," Malkov says as he rips off the system and throws it aside off the chest of the machine. "Air release system severed," the suit speaks. "Silence all warnings," Malkov speaks. Doing so goes against Safety Protocol 19.46. Override. Warning system overridden. Malkov searches for Zizor through the smoke as he rights himself when he sees him slide under his legs. He's going for the exhaust. Malkov makes Colossus fall on its butt, pinning Zizor under it. This causes the fluid tank on Zizor's crown to slightly crack. Damn, I can't let the vial break. Colossus shows no sign of releasing Zizor from under its iron rear. Suddenly, Malkov notices an oncoming comet. He would send a comet at us both? Is he trying to end it here? No matter. I will just wait until the last second and get up and let his own comet crush him. Malkov waits and leaps off and turns to watch Zizor get demolished, but turns to see Zizor holding the large comet in his hands. The pressure is burning the area around them. The comet seems to hover in Monica's hand, and Zizor lets off a smirk before aiming it at Colossus. Colossus braces himself with his arms, and Zizor sends the comet into him with as much pressure as it had when it was descending. The blast was intense, but was quickly absorbed by the vents. Malkov looks for Zizor, but he is gone. He looks behind him and sees that Zizor still had a piece of comet in his hand. He throws the baseball-sized comet directly at the exhaust, but Colossus turns and shoulders it and points his missile launcher at Zizor point blank. Shit! Zizor tries for a back handspring to avoid it, but Malkov presses the trigger. Suddenly, Malkov's left arm explodes. A rocket was jammed from Zizor's comet. Damn it, again! Before the fire can spread to the pilot seat, Malkov makes the mech remove the damaged arm, which he violently grips like a sword and charges after Zizor. 49%. I'm just going to take a comet that size or more to burn him. Will go to waste if I don't remove that exhaust, though. Zizor leaps over a swing from the armed sword. The pressure and heat cause the rain to be knocked back momentarily. Zizor lands harshly and begins to run after Malkov, after a minor slip in the rain. Malkov uses Colossus to violently stomp the ground, causing a tremor, which makes Zizor slip, and Malkov, without wasting a second, smacks Zizor hard with the armed sword, causing a blast of flames and sparks as Zizor flies into the pavement. Monica gasps. Damn it, no! Zizor uses a dose of fluid to keep Monica out of pain and to heal his wounds, since she was beginning to awake. 32% now. I can't be careless. The smoke clears and Zizor sees the machine gun arm pointed at him. He is not giving me a moment to breathe. He's more serious than before. I have to think outside the box. Zizor's eyes glow bright, and he leaps into the air, cracking the pavement. A trail of bullets follow close behind. This is my only opening, now or never. Through the smoke, several baseball-sized comets begin to pelt Colossus, which barely faces him, but stops the machine gun fire. The vents begin to do their work as Colossus walks backwards to protect his back from an attack. Unknown to him, Zizor had a larger comet circling the Earth over and over again, building velocity. The spiraling comet strikes Colossus horizontally in the leg, sweeping him off of his feet. The metal beast lands on his stomach. Now! Zizor uses the last 8% of his fluid to energize his legs, and pencil dives into Colossus's exhaust, snapping it off and pushing him a foot into the earth below. The flames from the spiral comet begin to succumb Malkov in his suit, and Zizor flips off, falling to his knees. Damn, that was rough. He's finally... Suddenly, Colossus stands and the vents begin to inhale the flames. Is he mad? The flames are going to kill him. I know what you are thinking, Zizor. Why would I do this? Well, it is simple. I've already planned to die. A little fire won't stop me before I kill you, Malkov screams. He immediately starts to unload thousands of rounds of machine gun rounds. The exhausted Zizor tries to run, but with no fluid, Monica wakes up. She uses all her strength to slide into a crater from the comets to avoid the gunfire. Don't run now. This fight has no room for a coward.
He's gonna kill me, and my baby if something isn't done. If I'm hit by him even once, I will die. It's too risky.
Malkov begins to walk over to Monica as the flames begin to eat away at his legs. Adrenaline has overcome him, and at this point he ignores it as it burns away his nerves. Monica lifts her fist.
Forgive me, little one. You must thank me as a terrible mother for everything I have put you through, but I promise I will never rely on you again. I will get stronger with Zazor with my own two hands and best anyone who would cross our paths. But I need you. I need you to protect yourself one last time like you did in the cell. Restore Zazor's fluid and get us out of the situation.
Malkov nears.
Don't hate me.
Monica drops her fist hard into her stomach, violently striking where her baby is located. Nothing happens at first, so Monica fights through the pain and continues striking her stomach like an angry bongo player. Malkov nears, and the heat from the violent fire start to burn Monica. A human-sized Zizor lays flat in the golden tub in Monica's mind. It wasn't enough. This human has more will to survive than I ever could have expected. We will die here, having failed our mission. Failing all of my missions. The worst part is that if we could just buy some time, Malkov is sure to die any minute from his injuries. Zizor stops as he notices Monica is beating her stomach. What is she thinking? We cannot rely on that egg to save us. Monica is punched hard by Colossus, knocking her into the pavement. A fatal blow, if not for the crown. Monica gasps as her heart starts to beat rapidly and out of normal rhythm. Martyr Malkov sure sounds nice, doesn't it, alien scum? I will burn you with me. Stop your foolish plan and be the savior of this world. Malkov scoops up the collapsed Monica and brings her to the suit's body. The intense heat knocks her unconscious, but she is quickly awakened by the flames that ignite her clothes and body. Monica's skin starts to burn away, and she screams. Normally, flames would not be enough to hurt the duo, but since Zizor's fluid has ran dry, there's not a way to protect her. The skin curdles off as she is burned when suddenly a massive pulse is emitted off of Monica so violently that all the fires are extinguished. What? Malkov thinks. Monica screams in pain as her stomach grows to the size of a woman in her second trimester. Her burnt skin turns blue, and the vial on her crown is filled to the brim with blue fluid. This burst. It's the egg again. And this is even more intense than the last time. It has grown. What is happening to Monica? Monica's brain chasm is filled with blue fluid as a massive tidal wave of fluid covers Zizor so much that he has to cover himself for protection. He quickly emerges back to his former massive self and stands tall in the chasm. Don't waste a second, Monica, Zizor screams. Monica laughs maniacally.
No chance.
Malkov sends a mighty fist at Monica, but she catches the fist, sending a shockwave of pressure throughout the crater. Malkov screams and goes for another, but Monica swats it aside, causing Malkov to lose balance. In the split opening, Monica leaps and forms a massive blue fist. With all her might, she punches through the flames and suit's metal all the way to Malkov. The punch instantly shattered his ribcage as if he were in a head-on collision, causing Malkov to release a painful shrill. The angered Malkov does a front kick, sending Monica flying backwards, but she prevents some damage by doing a few backflips, landing harshly. No, they were dead. What type of sentient shit is going on here, Malkov says. He assesses his body. Colossus, run a physical health scan of my body. Scanning. Damage is critical. External scan results in 6-degree burns to the feet and ankles, 5th-degree burns to the calves and hamstrings, 4th-degree burns to the groin, loins, and lower abdomen. Internal scan results in peaked adrenaline levels, irregular heartbeat, 6 broken ribs, internal organ bleeding and failure in the lungs, heart, liver, and gallbladder. The small intestines are also shriveling due to the suit's internal heat of 130 degrees, which has dropped drastically since the foreign extinction of the flames. You must seek medical attention to survive. Monica begins to fast walk to Colossus, and before he can react, she winds a massive blue leg back and begins to kick the side of Colossus's leg over and over again. The pressure from the kick sends sparks flying as it slowly bends the metal to the point that it snaps off from the weight. Colossus begins to fall but catches himself with the other leg. Colossus, drop feet anchors. The suit sends 14-inch screws from its remaining foot into the pavement rapidly to avoid falling over, and Monica hops backwards. What is she doing? Malkov raises his arm at her to fire, only to notice the heat from the flames melted the metal ceiling off the chambers. He lowers it as he looks at Monica. It is over. I am stuck and defenseless. I won't even call for backup. I will not die begging for help. I will be found here standing tall like the proud American I am.
Proud? You plan to kill people here for the sake of your mission.
Don't go humble on me now. We are both villains, but you are much worse than I.
You're wrong, Malkov.
Enlighten me. How are we not both villains?
Not about that. You are wrong about being found here, standing tall.
Malkov looks at Monica's fluid vial to see that all the fluid was gone. An overly intense pressure fills the air, and Monica begins to walk away from Colossus. Why? I was to die any moment. Why waste your strength? And to that magnitude? A comet that size will burn me away before it even lands. You will flatten the whole state of Tennessee.
Because you made me hit my baby.
Monica begins to run away rapidly and jumps behind some broken asphalt. A train-sized comet violently nears Malkov. Peace, broken, world corrupt, Malkov says as he coughs up blood. I cannot even have my final wish of dying as a hero. There will be nothing left of me or Colossus. Hope died. As the comet moves, Malkov is vaporized as the heat from the comet leaches inside of the suit. Colossus stands proudly until the comet connects, sending a massive shockwave. The direct area exploded like a nuclear blast, and the shockwave scorched most of the state. The heat wave burned off the skin and clothes of Monica, but with a fully functioning crown still surging, the skin instantly grew back. The nude Monica walks with a stumble towards Kentucky, a long journey ahead of them. Monica, we did it. We stopped Malkov and we are finally free. Even though there are more humans and likely more mech suits, they don't know where we are. We must reunite with my brothers and...
No. We need someplace safe to lay low for now.
Monica interrupts. Why? If we combine strength.
Why? Well, because, for one, I'm naked, and for two, the egg will come out soon. And since it has some unknown power, don't you think we should hide it from the others?
Caesar laughs and they continue to walk. She is resilient and quite the militant. Who knows how my brothers will react? It is best to keep this under wraps for now until the birth. Monica eventually collapses from exhaustion, so Zizor takes over the body and walks to a nearby forest fire caused by the comet, and he curls her up next to it for warmth. Animals living in the forest screech and squeal from the pain of being burned alive. Nearly 7 million people were killed by Monica's comet, yet she slept peacefully surrounded by the flames of her blast. She slept protecting her stomach, like a dragon protecting its gold, who just slaughtered everyone near it. No regret or remorse. Was this lack of care from Zizor's vile DNA, or from Monica herself? We may never know. The vibrations of the 8-pound egg helped Monica sleep through the cold night.